What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a 2016 Honda Accord. We'll be doing front brakes on it. I actually debated whether or not to actually do this video because there are so many brake videos out there. I figured why not try to help somebody, and I was going to need a good filler videos, a couple of them, because I'm going to be out of town for a week, and then I'm going to actually be having surgery one week, following week after that. So we'll need at least 2 weeks of filler videos. It's just a little minor surgery, so it ain't nothing major, but the following week I'll be back doing the car stuff. But I just needed some filler material, so I figured why not, and I can give you all the torque specs and part numbers and everything for this right here. And it's pretty much straightforward brake job, but you're going to need a 14 and 17 Phillips head or an impact driver, maybe a drill bit depending on how bad the Phillips head bolt is compressed in there and stuck and rusted, whatever. And then a C-clamp to press in the piston. I know they make piston compressors, but C-clamps work just as good, and you get a little bit more leverage on them. So let me grab my ratchet and we'll get to taking all this apart. Like I was saying, 14 millimeter on the caliper bolts. This is 17 on the actual caliper bracket. And if everything goes like the driver's side, I'm going to have to drill out the head of this bolt to get it to come off for the Phillips head. So I'll hang that up out of the way. Tell the brakes were getting pretty wore out. He got his oil changed, and they asked him, they wanted him to do the brakes. He said no, he'll get somebody else to do them, and I guess I'm the somebody else. Also, the squealer goes on the inside where the sliders are, which we're going to check those now, which they feel pretty good. Go ahead and pull off this, and then we can get it cleaned up, because the new ones did come with all new hardware. And now the screw is right here on the front. I'll get y'all where y'all can see that. Right there. I'm going to try an impact driver, but more than likely I'll have to drill it out. To be honest, I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can get it to twist out by hand. If I can't get it by hand, oh, nah. We'll go ahead and just drill it out. Then I'll have to get a hammer and hit it a few times. And once you take the rotor off, you can normally just thread them right out, because all the tension is gone off of them. And that's right there is what I did to it. So it's just as quick to do it that way as it is trying to use an impact driver, and 9 times out of 10 you're not going to put the screw back in anyway, especially if it's already been taken out once, because the head of it's normally stripped out. So let me grab the pads and the rotor, and I'll show you what we got. So as far as pads go, we got import directs right here, part number 103-1654, and we got their coated rotors as well. We went to the O'Reilly's and got those. They're not a sponsor or anything, but try to find a part number for you. Get get that in frame. 92-1548R. Well, like I said, these are the coated rotors, and you don't have to, come on, get on there. You don't have to clean those off with any kind of brake cleaner or anything. You can if you want to, but they don't have any grease on them or anything just because they are already coated. I'm using a lug nut to hold this on. Now we're going to assemble the caliper brackets. Those are our pads. These just pop in. Make sure they seat down all the way. I did clean them off with some brake cleaner. I went over them a little bit with a little wire brush or a brass brush. And just pop them in. Put a little bit of brake lube on the edge of the pads, just on the corners, just to make them glide a little bit better and keep from hanging up. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff, just enough to just coat it just a little bit. Like I said, that's about all that we did. And these right here, oops, I don't drop them. It's got little notches in them. I don't know how well y'all can see that. That goes where that little tang is, little tab, whatever you want to call it. They're a little slippery. And then they all lock in and hold each other with this little tab right there. Try to show y'all. They hold in pretty well with the little tabs on the end. Now I'm just putting some blue thread locker on here just to help hold better. Like I said, just put a little bit on there. You don't have to go crazy on that either. We did check the sliders. They feel pretty good. Got some lube in them. Alright. Put a little pressure on them just so they hold. And those right there torqued to 80 foot-pounds. Go ahead and get my torque wrench and go ahead and torque these down. Torque wrench. Double check this top one, and we are good to go. Now the caliper bracket, caliper 2 bracket torque is actually 37 foot-pounds, but we still have to compress the caliper in real quick. Set it up here so y'all can see that. Tilt y'all back a little bit more. And we're just going to put an old pad in here, like so. And we're going to use a C-clip, or C-clamp, not C-clip. And we're just going to tighten it down a little bit at a time. Just turn it, let it compress, turn it, let it compress, just going real easy. I feel like it's binding up. Just sit there for a minute and make sure that it's still going back. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. If it feels like it's not going any further, go ahead and stop, and you should be there at the end. And I didn't spray or clean that off. Should have. I'm gonna blow it off real quick. We'll put some grease right here on the contact points and a little bit on the boot. Not quite that much. I like to put on a boot just because I feel like it helps keep that boot lubricated pretty good. Oh, come on, there it goes. You know, somebody get this whole video in one take. That'd be awesome. Barely have to do any editing on this one, I don't think. So, I'm going to do that one. That one, like I said, torques to 37 foot-pounds. I can find my socket. There's 1, 2. Double check them just to be safe, and there. And there we go. All we have to do now is take it for a test drive, seat them in, make sure we don't hear any weird noises or any of that type of stuff, and we'll be done. But I guess I'm just going to close out the video right here just because there's that's pretty much everything on this. Like I said, it might be a quick video. We don't know. I'll just have to see when I'm editing it. But if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section. I'll get to them as soon as possible. And y'all remember, torque this tight, and y'all have a great day.